today. I've got an amazing guest, Nicole Walters, who is from She's the Boss. It is a lifestyle. It is a reality show. It's a docu-comedy right here at USA Network. It is amazing. She's an amazing person. Let me just go down this list. CEO and founder of Inherent Learning Company. She's raising 3 beautiful adopted daughters with her hubby. And she is the boss.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So She's the Boss is actually what they call a docu-comedy, which is, I thought it was kind of funny because I was chuckling as I was watching some of these episodes, which is really interesting that, you're doing a reality show. Nicole is also the CEO and founder of Inherent Learning Company, and you and your funny hubby are raising 3 beautiful adopted daughters, 2 of them, which we see on this show. So now we're going to get into it, because I really want to know, as so many others, it started with you quitting your Fortune 500 job.
Yes.
That right there. I'm like, because, I still work in corporate world and it's on the side. And I'm like, how?
Right.
Did she do this?
Sure. No, I think that, so first and foremost, I'm all for having a corporate job. Lord knows I have my days where I miss my PTO and I miss being able to call in, but I am the boss, so I got to deal with it. Right. But what happened was I was working corporate America. I loved it. I was very effective at what I was doing. It was just that I found that, especially after taking in 3 girls and building a family, that I just wanted more flexibility around my time, around my income. And then I also wanted to make sure that I was using my God-given gifts thoroughly. Yes. And that just really wasn't happening in a cubicle every day for me. So it was after some planning and some preparation that I always like to say I hired myself. I didn't just quit my job. I built a place for me to go. And that place was Inherent Learning Company. And so we are headquartered here in Atlanta. We're a multi-million-dollar debt-free, woman-owned, Black-owned business. And we're super excited to be able to help entrepreneurs every day. Things are working.
That is amazing. So you built that while you're still working your corporate gig.
I did. Lots of late nights, lots of lost weekends, but I don't regret a moment because I am in a place now where I have the flexibility to pursue the things that are called upon my life.
Wow. So, and for those people who are watching and who kind of, or maybe kind of fearful to step out, how long did it take from the time you know what, I'm going to start Inherit, and then you had the cojones to say, you know what, I'm switching over.
Doing this. Yeah. So I always try to let people know that nothing happens overnight. And frankly, despite what social media shows you, you don't want that type of business, right? You want a business that is a crock pot success, not a microwave success. So what that means is, it took me 10 plus years of working on the side and making sure my systems were in place, building out clienteles before I actually made that leap. So I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 6 years, but I've been an entrepreneur for almost 16.
Wow. And that's that little piece of information there
is everything.
10 years. Cause we see the reality show,
I know,
podcast, and you're like, oh man, you know what? I can do this too.
Right.
And then before you know it, you're out there and like, well, Nicole.
I know. Yeah. Well, listen, don't believe social media, right? Because yes, you can do it too. Take that fire, take that energy, but know that you still need to follow the same steps. And if you try to build a business by skipping the steps, you will have to come back and do the work. And that's where a lot of my clients are, is where they're trying to fill in those money gaps and they're trying to figure out the legal, the financial, all the pieces, and I'm excited to work with them because everyone who wants a business deserves to have one. And that's part of the American dream.
That is amazing. And then you also have the podcast. Now let's talk about the reality show.
Sure.
So because you're wrapping, you completed a full season.
I know, it's crazy.
So was your husband totally on board with this? Because it's different when it's just you.
Of
but
course.
You have a whole family.
Of course. So I think one of the things that I think one of the things that made this so awesome and fun was that it wasn't like some of the standard reality shows that are filmed in and about Atlanta, right? I'm not working with another cast, and working with my family, so what was nice was this, we were able to keep the storyline related to us, which was funny and fun, and it really integrated with our life. So what made it awesome was that my husband was on board, because we've always shared our story in building a business, in becoming parents, everything we've been doing, we've been sharing the story online already. So people have seen our viral videos, they've seen our teachings, all that good stuff. So this is just an extension of that. So if you laugh at us online, you'll laugh at us on screen too.
How do your daughters feel about that? Are they
Well,
like, Mom, you know what? At some point, can you just stop,
right.
Do
Well,
they
they
just
are
egg it on?
teenagers, right? They are teenagers. So, for them, they each took it differently. So my little one, my 9-year-old is like, bring on the cameras, more, right? My middle one is, your classic Generation Z. So she's like, I take pictures of my food. Like, this is not that big of a deal that you want to film me. Like, we document everything, big deal, like she doesn't even care. And then my eldest one is like, look, I'm private. I'm in my 20s. Like, I'm not trying to be on anybody's camera. Let me make my mistakes off camera, so they're not public conversation. And so it's great, because this is a project that we were doing internally, working with USA Network. They were very flexible to that. They were like, yeah, let's, do what makes you comfortable, but let's also make sure we capture all the realness. And we did exactly that.
Did they approach you?
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, I was not seeking out. I run a full business. You know what I mean? I run a full business. I travel all the time. Like, I'm working on a book. Like, I've got a lot going on. And so when they reached out, it took some serious conversation to get to a place where we were like, yeah, no, this is something we'll do.
Is there any point that, you said, you know what? Okay, I just need the cameras to just stop.
Oh yeah, no, we've definitely had those moments, because I mean, there's no way to have a 22-year-old daughter, an 18-year-old daughter, and a 9-year-old and not have moments where it's like, look, this is really a family thing, And I think what was interesting was keeping the balance of moments like that stay on camera. So I mean, I watched this season, and I said to myself, there's some moments on here that are not my best, but people get to see it come full circle, and I'm glad we kept a lot of that in there. But there were also some moments where it was like, you know what, she's having a grumpy day and we just want her to have a moment, and then we'll come back and resume. So it's great. There's a good balance. You get to see plenty of my family mistakes and funny moments, but there are a couple things that we kept kind of close to the vest.
So I see you balance the family and the show. Now, how do you also balance your clients alongside of that? Because you've got your hand everywhere, and I'm trying to figure out how.
Sure. I mean, well, I have a team.
Okay, she got the podcast, she got the show, the kids, because I have a 20-year-old, and that in there, getting the calls.
Oh, yes. You get it. You get it. You get it. Well, I have a team. So I think that is always one of the things that a lot of people lose sight of, is there's no one who does it all by themselves. So I'm really blessed to have a phenomenal team at Inherit Learning Company that makes sure that all of our clients get what they need. And people joke that we're the Chick-fil-A of the consulting world, because everything we do, we're like, my pleasure, So I just, I love it. I love my team, my people, the way that we're able to show up and serve. And frankly, you'll see on the show, I don't get it all right. That's the other part of it, is I make mistakes and I get out of balance, and, I have to figure it all out. And that's a lot of where the humor comes in, because, me figuring things out is always a pretty funny endeavor.
Now, growing up, and I always feel like a lot of times when we're growing up, that's when we kind of get that feel as to what our purpose should be.
Sure.
Now, growing up, I'm sure, reality shows kind of really weren't a thing back then.
Right.
But what did you want to be as you were growing up as a child?
Well, I always thought I would go into broadcast journalism. So it being like a newscaster, journalist, that sort of thing always was the best vision I could paint for myself, if you will. But the truth is, even if I said having a consulting firm, that's primarily digitally based, that didn't exist. I didn't grow up with the internet, if I don't want to date myself, but
I'm girl, look, I feel you.
Right. I didn't grow up with the internet.
Dewey Decimal System. Dewey Decimal System.
Right. So I'm like, I didn't grow up with the internet. So I honestly couldn't have said all the things that are here. And what's great is when people ask me, well, where do you see all of this going? Well, honestly, I can take the things in front of me today. I can show up and be excellent in the place that I am, but I don't want to limit what God has for me, and I imagine imagine that it could be something beyond my wildest dreams that I've never even thought of, you know? So I'm just excited to kind of keep showing up every day, serving people with both laughs and great business solutions, and then seeing what happens next.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about your book, or is that going to be a surprise?
Oh, it's not a surprise, but I am really excited about it. So we are finalizing our publisher right now. And so that book is going to come out, and people could just stay tuned on all my social media platforms at Nicole Walters. And then they'll be able to see, you know, kind of all the news that's coming. But we're really excited. The book is going to be a deep dive into a lot of what you don't see, right? So, you know, some of the family things, some of the some detailed stories around the early season, because, you know, a lot of people have tuned in from when I met the girls, but they didn't really pick up what it's like transitioning that sort of family in while also building a business. So I'm going to talk about some of those lessons and learnings, tough moments, and how we made it through it all.
Okay. And right before we go, I want to know, what did the pandemic teach you? Things that you must have and things that you can live without.
Wow, that's a great question. So I will definitely say this pandemic or pandemic or ponderosa, right? This whole situation, right, taught me that what I definitely need is personal space. You know, as an extrovert, because I do love people so much, I thought that I was good on that, but I didn't realize everybody has a limit, right? So when you have people all the time, 24/7, I just need more quiet space, you know, so that it taught me that. And then, and that was the one thing that I learned. And then the one thing that I knew I could do without was this sort of, I used to have an obsessive need to cross off my whole to-do list every day. And just, I learned that, you know what, there's always like, it'll be there for tomorrow or it won't be. The world can change in the blink of an eye. So what really matters is focusing on the present and just knowing that if you do your best today, you'll show up excellent tomorrow.
Wonderful words to end with. I know you're on a tight schedule. You know, tell everyone again when they can catch the season finale, and give them your social media handles. You've got to follow this lady, even if you're not an entrepreneur. Phenomenal life skill.
Thank you so much. Yes, everyone can tune in to the season finale of She's the Boss on USA Network every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. And if you want to keep up with everything in the business and everything Team Walters, head over to Nicole Walters on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, we're everywhere.
You are every woman. I think that song was written for you.
Shaka. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh, love me some Whitney.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. You are amazing. I appreciate the time right here in Style Atlanta, and we'll see you guys soon.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching In Style Atlanta today. Hopefully you were inspired, and thanks so much for tuning in Style Atlanta. We'll see you guys back here next time.